Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeru. Now, what are some of the factors that you should consider before getting a marriage partner? You see, the choice of a marriage partner is the next most important decision after choosing whether you will go to heaven or hell. And the choice of a marriage partner is one of the factors that determine your success or failure under this surface of the earth. And it is very important that you understand some of these factors. I believe there's an overwhelming number of singles who are watching me here, hoping to get marriage partners sooner or later. But again, is it not important to get prepared if you get a marriage partner? Now, I have learned through the messages I get, the feedback I get from my team and from the people we post every day, from the people we interact with, that the choice of a marriage partner is a very vital and important decision. When you choose a marriage partner, you have declared your fate. And that is why some of these marriages never worked. There are people who chose marriage partners and it was the beginning of their downfall. Others chose marriage partners and it was the beginning of an ever continuous rising. And that one, you know that there are people who can testify. There are people who declare both publicly and privately that their downfall is attributed largely to the people they got married to. Others, in the same measure, credit their partners for their success. So, you see, when you're getting married, there are very many factors at play, but most people downplay those factors in the interest of either physical looks and monetary value. Especially when men have money, they are not judged, not knowing that this man could be having a lot of money and maybe that money will not give you the kind of peace or the kind of love, the kind of life that you would so wish to have. In the same way, there are women who are very beautiful, and at the expense of their beauty, men compromise many other boxes. And maybe those women were not able to tick most of the most important, get that statement, most of the most important boxes that should be ticked when choosing a marriage partner. So, what are some of these factors? And I am doing this video with a lot of love, with a lot of care and concern to give attention to details so that at the end of the day, when you're choosing a marriage partner, you cannot, and you would not at any given point compromise on these factors. Factor number one. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker Show. We help men and women to get matches. And the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost. If you're new to the show, subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to leave a comment. Also, the contacts of our guest and any other guest I bring on the show are always on my Facebook page at Jenga Njeru. So you can follow Jenga Njeru and you'll be getting these updates in real time. What are these factors that you should consider before choosing a marriage partner? Number one, religion. Religion is one of the most important factors. It is very important that when you are choosing a marriage partner, irrespective of how desperate you think you are, to choose a person who have the same beliefs like you are. You should choose a partner. If you're a Christian, I am not against intermarriages, but what I'm saying is simple. If you come from a Christian background, it will be easier for you to marry somebody who comes from a Christian background, whether they are born again or not. That is now subject to discussion, but people who believe in God. If you're a Muslim, for instance, you can also choose somebody who have your own, a person who has your own background in terms of religion. It will be easy to raise children. It will not bring conflict of interest. And those are some of the observations. Because I have noted that when religion is ignored, when you're looking for a partner, uko you realize that there were so many areas that you cannot match, and that marriage cannot withstand the test of time. So, number one, religion. Be compatible in religion. Number two, liking. You see, there is something about liking somebody that gives you a lot of points. And most people compromise either because of beauty or because of money. When a man is handsome, when a man has money, there are so many things that are ignored in terms of personality, in terms of character, in terms of beliefs, in terms of ethics. The same way, when a woman is beautiful, men will compromise many other things. But Remember that if you do not like this person, you cannot be able to love them. The first step towards love is liking. The moment you like that person, the moment you feel that your heart has allowed yourself to love that person and to become something, and it is special, the feeling is special, it becomes a beautiful experience. So consider that, because sometimes you will fall into arguments, sometimes you will fall into battles, sometimes you will fall into a very heated disagreement. And I'm telling you for sure, except for the fact that you like and you love that person, if that argument is heated, the person does not look attractive anymore. So, to shield yourself, choose a person that you like. At the same time, if you find that the feeling is mutual, you guys were meant for one another. So, consider what? Liking. That's why I always encourage people, if you realize that you're dating somebody and it is like you're forcing yourself, they don't feel the same thing, they don't feel the same way, please count your losses and walk away. Walk. Do what? Walk. Number 3, financial situations. I have always maintained on this show that it is good to get somebody who is either at your own level, slightly higher, or slightly lower, not a whole valley of difference in terms of financial situation. There are people who are watching me and they have counted millions with their own hands. There are people who are watching me and they have counted hundreds and a few thousands with their own hands. But as fate would have it, there are haves and have-nots, and there's nothing you can do about it. However, if you choose a partner that you have a very wide difference, there will be what you call culture shock. There are things like compatibility that will not be able to match between the both of you. So it would be very important if you can choose somebody. If you're working together, you will not feel intimidated. If you work together, you will not feel ashamed. So if you can get a partner who is either at your own level, slightly higher or slightly lower, the better for you. Because there are arguments you will be past. There will be arguments you cannot have. There are people you can marry, and the moment you start spending money, they feel like you are wasting. Other people cannot believe. Especially, you see these discussions, I have had them in my inbox. And that's why I said I will open an entire podcast to be helping people on this platform, to be helping people to digest some of these matters. So if you realize that you're getting a person who is up there, very high, higher than you, ako huko juu, ako huko juu na wewe uko hapa chini, it will be very dangerous. The same way, if that person ako huku chini kabisa, you feel like you chased yourself. So please take care of that factor: financial factor, economic factor, pesa factor. Be matching. Okay, so that one partner does not propose that you go to the Cayman Islands, you want to go and swim in Zanzibar, you don't want to go to the Caribbean islands, and somebody else is like, are you stupid? Are you mad? Are you okay? When? Since when? How? That is waste of money. You understand? Yes. Number 4, you should also consider their belief system. Belief system does not necessarily connote religion. I want you to understand this. I'll give you a bonus after this. I want you to understand that belief systems are the set of values that one person believes in. You can marry a con man or a con woman and you don't believe in that. And that is why courtship is important. If your husband, for instance, is a con man and your boyfriend is a con man, he is a poker, and that is what he does for a living. Anauza mashamba ya uongo, anaenda huko anauza nyumba za uongo, and you come and bring that person, they hawaonangi kitu ngumu, you regret in the end, because you are either going to absorb or they are going to absorb you. And in most times than not, you cannot change a crooked person. You cannot teach an old dog new tricks. Okay? Even trees are bent when they are still young. So please look at the value systems. Pima mtu mukiongea. When you are talking, what do you believe? Do you believe in tithing? Maybe you are a Christian and you believe in the ministry of tithing. You know that every 10% of your income goes to the work of God. And the other person is like, what? No way. The other person maybe believes that hiyo pesa inaenda kusaidia wachungaji. You see, you have a set of values that are different. The other person believes in giving, you don't believe in giving. You will look like one of you is stupid. Are you getting the point? That's why courtship is important. Get a conversation, be talking, ask them, what do you believe in? Okay, are they givers? Are they not givers? Do they love family? Can they accommodate somebody else? Do they believe in forgiveness? You see, so a set of values are what we call belief systems. Okay, you can get married to a man just because he looks handsome and attractive and he has money. Only for him, when you're pregnant, anasema, I don't believe, akwambiangi ati he doesn't believe there is God. And then you start asking yourself, is this the man I want to be the father? I want him to be the father of my children. You get the point? So some of these belief systems should be decoded. You get to learn them, and then you also check whether the person is a liar. The person anakuambia hivi, kesho amesahau. You see, one thing about lies is that you cannot be consistent. When you start lying today, you cannot be able to defend that lie tomorrow because you have forgotten the lie. Can I give you a bonus? Are you ready for the bonus? If you're watching to this point, have you liked this video? Do you think this video is helpful? What are some of the other factors that we should consider before falling in love with a partner, before saying, yes, I do? Number 5, family. Check where that person comes from. I am doing an entire podcast, and I have said about these things so that we can learn. We will be discussing them so that at the end of the day, people can have an entire conversation. I was imagining a situation where one man gets married to a woman mwenye familia yake ilikuwa imemkasa. This girl, unasikia alipiga nyanya yake slaps. Nyanya yake akatoa nguo akasema, wewe utaanikwa na dunia hivyo. Mwingine akapiga mzazi, mwingine sijui akafanya nini. Do some background check about family. What are some of the ties that hold these people back? And it's so easy to decode this. Very easy. Because you even ask these people. Unamuuliza vizuri. Family. Ukisikia mtu kwanza hapendi familia yao, run away from that person. If you hear that person hapendi mama yake, hapendi baba yake, hapendi nani, kila mtu ni mbaya kwake, that's a red flag. And your favorite color is red. So please look for green flags so that at the end of the day, you will be safe. You see, marriage can be very refreshing and yet very embarrassing. Because once you get married, when people are getting married, they are very excited. They like to show people, oh, meet so-and-so. Meet the love of my life. And kidogo, you're not talking, you've parted ways. Utaambia watu nini? What will you tell people? So please check on the background. Where does that person come from? Do they have a consistent culture? Do they believe in God? Do they, even if they are not born again? There are people, I have met so many men, even on this show. How many of you are raised by parents who are not born again, but they entirely believe in God? They pray to God every time, they commit their lives to God. That person believes in God, whether they go to church or not. Then there is another one who does not believe that God exists. And woe unto you if you are going to get married to the head of that family. You will suffer. Didn't you watch an interview I did with one lady from Kitui who told us that after she was married, she realized that her husband was using juju. She had not done a background check. She realized that her husband had something in the wallet, like a small snake. You should watch that interview. And you are left wondering, in whose hands are we safe? You can only be safe in the hands of God. And how do you do that? You ask for discernment. And even when you're talking to that person, please dig deep. You will know a thing or two. Be praying. Do you ever pray for your relationships, ladies and gentlemen? Pray for your relationships. Are we together? So I don't know which other point I have left, but we will be having some of these discussions. I don't know which other point I have left, but if you feel like I've left something, you can let us know in the comment section. We keep on educating one another learning from one another so that we don't commit the same mistakes. So until then, this is Jenganjero. God bless you. Bye bye.